the squad, ain't no facade. I put my right hand up high, threw me the live, we on the job. I put my right hand up high, my right hand up high.
You are now tuned in to Right Handed Pod, a podcast by the people for the people, hosted by Doe and Dub. Make sure to follow, like, and subscribe, and be sure to tell a friend to tune in. Welcome back to another episode of Right Handed Pod. I'm your host, Dub.
And I'm Doe.
Podcast by the people for the people. Today is Sunday, January the 29th. It's a big day in football. It's the deciding games to see who going to the Super Bowl. You got any predictions for the day?
I ain't got no predictions for today.
You ain't following?
Nah, I'm following them, but I gave predictions last year and they ain't go my way, so I ain't
Who you
giving no
predict?
predictions. I predicted Chiefs last year.
And I predicted Dave was going to lose by a field goal.
Yeah, and that's what happened.
Big.
And that's what happened.
So speaking of big, man, I got to get this out of the way, man. So I got an embarrassing story that I got to tell that happened to me this week.
Alright.
So it's a group of us that bet. It's three of us. We talk every day, man, put tickets together and bet with each other. So this particular day, I'm not going to say his name, but he going to know who he is when he hears this. He sent me his ticket. 2 tickets. He was like, man, you gonna want to play one of them, but I only saw 1 ticket. So he sent me the ticket, man. I go to the boat and I play the ticket that I thought he wanted me to play. So I left, and when I came and dropped his ticket off, he was like, man, you only played 1 ticket. You didn't play the other one. I was like, man, what other one? I didn't see the other one.
Right.
So he showed it to me. I was like, man, I didn't even see that ticket in my bag. Man, 3 o'clock in the morning, I get a text. Like, bro, with the mad face. His ticket cleared $20 would have won $6 grand.
And you ain't playing.
I didn't play it. Oh. So they called me 61.55 now because he lost $6 grand off of that because I didn't play that ticket. So I apologize. But here's, in my defense, after I told him, man, I didn't play it, he had an hour to go play it himself. He lived 20 minutes away from the boat. He ain't gonna do it. So it ain't all my fault. It's partially my fault. But he should have went and played it himself. So they called me 61.55 now. That's how much I cost us. $6 grand. But besides that, man, how your week been? We ain't did this since what, the day before Christmas was our last episode.
Yeah, it's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? My week been, cool. I can't complain.
Weeks.
You know? We had weeks. Yeah, ain't nothing too major. You know, excited to get back in the seat. And,
I'm definitely excited, man. It's a much warmer episode than the last one was, man.
Oh yeah. It was cold.
I wish we could have recorded that one, man.
And shout out to SoFly too for letting us get in here.
We appreciate y'all, man.
Cool.
For letting us come in. Shout out to Trade, Shot by Trade as well. We got a new cameraman. But yeah, man, I just got back from Jamaica last week. Enjoyed myself, man. If I can employ anybody to do anything, get y'all a passport and get out of here, man. It's a whole world to see out here, man. A beautiful world. It's not that expensive. The stuff y'all blow money on, if y'all put it to the side, it's a whole world out here, man. Take your kids to see this world. Stop making excuses.
I was at, you swam with the dolphins,
And
right?
I was swimming with the dolphins. Swim with the sharks, but the dude wasn't over there. I did it all. He had parrots, iguanas. I was going to parasail. I'm jumping off a cliff. I scuba dived.
Oh yeah?
In the middle of the ocean, bro. I was out there.
Yeah, I can't swim, so I ain't swimming.
I had a life vest on. They had people out there that would have saved you. They weren't gonna let you drown. But you know, I didn't know, man, jet skis is banned in Jamaica.
Oh, they?
You can't use a jet ski in Jamaica.
Oh yeah, what they say? Why they say that?
Them folks, when I say them folks, you know what I'm talking about. They was out there, man, abusing it, just going crazy. I think somebody got hit by one and killed and they banned them.
Oh.
Yeah, so
the whole country?
You go out there in the water, you don't see no jet skis at all. So they can't use them at all, man. So yeah, travel, man. You need to get your passport.
Definitely.
When you get on the out of here. But I gotta look at the agenda for today. On this episode, we will be, of course, discussing what happened to the young man in Memphis. Those 5 officers that brutally beat Tyre Nichols. I believe I'm saying it right. Those 5 officers that brutally beat the young man. I don't even have a full story, man. But even with the full story, nothing he did deserved what they did to that man.
Nah.
But I think the part that's the most disturbing is the color of the officers that did it to him. To see 5, was it 4 or 5 of them? It's 5 of them. 5 of them that look just like you, man.
It don't surprise me though. It don't surprise me.
It don't surprise me either.
We don't love each other.
We definitely don't love each other. And the badge don't change nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The badge don't change nothing.
All they do is give them the extra, you know what I'm saying, the extra incentive to do something because they feel like they can do it because they got some kind of authority. But then at the same time, they realize that you ain't got the same authority as your white counterparts.
So exactly. You know what I'm saying?
So that's a reality check for them too.
Definitely. Because look how quick they got scooped up.
Oh, yeah.
Prior to a white officer. As we were talking
No
about.
question, no doubt. Quick, fast.
Yeah. The white officer out on bond for 2 years before they pick them up.
Right.
They give them 3 years or either they get off. Man, listen. If Rodney King didn't teach y'all nothing, y'all will never understand it. Like they got it on camera. They beat that man ass and they still let him go. Them people riding, tore all that shit up, and they still be out here letting these cops go, man.
Right.
Scot free. But they ain't letting these guys go at all.
Nah.
They not gonna let them go.
Because what happened to like the black cop who I think it was Minnesota, he killed the lady or something?
I heard about that one.
It's been a while, you know what I'm saying? But they got him too though.
Did they?
Yeah, I think so. I
Killed
think
a black
they
lady or a white lady?
Nah, it was a white lady.
Black cop killed a white lady?
I think so, if I'm not mistaken.
In Minnesota?
Yeah. You don't remember something like that?
Yeah, he went there.
Yeah.
I ain't heard about that one.
Yeah.
Damn.
This was a couple years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't recent.
So they got him life.
This was after.
I don't know if they gave life, but they gave
this was after
time.
Police Castile. Philando Castile. This was after Philando Castile.
Yeah.
Probably about a year or two after that.
You know, we can't do what they can do.
Nah, you definitely can't. What you have to realize is, like Kanye said, even though I know you don't like him, even if you in a Benz, you still a nigga in a coupe.
Yeah.
So even though you're a cop, you just a nigga in a bag with a badge.
It ain't necessarily that I don't like the nigga. Just stop asking this nigga questions.
What are you talking about, Kanye?
Yeah, just stop asking the nigga questions and I'll be alright.
I don't think too many people take dudes serious no more, man.
You shouldn't.
Because you see, Pusha T ain't rocking with him no more. He say he ain't no good music no more.
That's a long overdue.
Is why? Listen, man. That's his homeboy. So if you sick and I'm just supposed to abandon you like that,
I'm not supposed to. Your sickness ain't supposed to affect my career.
it depends on what kind of sickness.
When it gets to that point, you gotta go. Oh, I gotta go.
I don't think that's right, man.
And plus, Pusha T, you know what I'm saying? You can. I mean, of course, you can do that, but no. And then like you older than dude.
Who Kanye older than Push?
Nah, Push older than only by like a month or so, but still, you can have your own shit.
But I'm saying, okay, if you compare the two,
You cool now. You don't need
now
no more.
he is. Now, so he just used them. Basically, is what you're saying.
The whole game is used.
Yeah, that's true. You got a point there. I can't argue.
Name any kind of business deal that didn't have
Yeah,
use.
Tupac did use shit at night.
Of course, to get out of jail.
He did use shit.
You know?
And it cost him his life.
Yeah.
But defending something they ain't had nothing to do with him. But
Yeah.
that's another.
Now he put himself in that though too.
Who did?
Tupac.
Put himself in that. Yeah, he
Yeah,
should.
he could have not do that shit.
He'd have been alive. But yeah,
I don't know what that. I don't know necessarily if he would be alive too, because a lot of people needed him out of the way.
Like who else?
What you mean? Who else?
Besides Bad
The
Boy?
whole industry.
You think so?
Hell yeah.
I don't think it was bad enough to kill him though.
You don't think so?
They ain't Biggie either. For them to kill him because they had the industry on
Well, you know they say Puffy got Biggie up the way.
all that shit be hearsay. Show me
Yeah,
the
it be
proof.
hearsay, but it be some truth to some of this shit.
Some of it, but where the proof at?
In the pudding.
The pudding can't talk. The pudding dead now. So I don't know, man. A lot of that stuff, man. I used to listen to it. I don't listen to that stuff no more. But a lot of it hold a lot of weight. I do believe it's a demonic industry.
And Tupac was speaking against it. You know, the Don Illuminati. I ain't even never heard of no Illuminati or nothing
That's
before Tupac was saying that type of stuff.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true.
I really didn't hear nothing about that.
No, I definitely didn't know what he was talking about.
You know, I was still a little younger at the time, but before that, I hadn't heard nothing about that.
And
The
I was
first time I heard about the Illuminati was when Michael Jackson was going through the trial about molesting one of them little kids at Neverland. And they was talking about how he kept getting off, and he had several cases. That was
Michael
pending.
Jackson kept
Michael
getting
Jackson. He kept getting, he was having all them kids come out talking about he was fondling them, messing with them or whatever, but he kept getting off, and they were saying that the record industry, because he was so much, he was a property to them. They had money invested in him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we can't allow this to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I ever heard of it.
Yeah, and then once they realized you weren't more dead than you were alive, they'd get rid of it.
Yeah.
I think that his family had an issue with getting his catalog or something.
Yeah.
When he died, didn't he?
Yeah.
Sony
They had
didn't
a
want
lot
to give
of-
it up or something.
Yeah.
Who bought it?
Then he owned a lot of Sony catalogs.
Who bought it?
I don't know.
Because he owned a lot of the Beatles catalog.
Yeah, he owned a lot of Sony. They say he owned like a
he owned
50%.
51% of Sony Corporation, which tied him into Dolly Parton, Kenny Rogers, the Beatles catalog.
So they definitely needed Michael
So he
Jackson.
had to go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, he definitely had to go.
Same thing with Bill Cosby. Yeah, and buying all the networks, buying the networks.
Bill the Pill. Yeah, but Bill did some of that stuff.
I mean, but Bill had done that 30, 40 years ago.
And who he learned it from?
Bill was doing it 30, 40 days ago. He ain't just stopped 30, 40 years ago.
No, but what I'm saying,
Like, it's a difference when you did it in the 60s and maybe 70s.
Yeah.
But he was still doing it in the 2000s.
the thing
He was like, oh, you still want to go to college? Hey, come on. Take some of my pudding pop. You know what I'm saying?
that's no more than what the Harvey Weinstein dude did.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they
that's
know.
true.
You know what I'm saying? He trafficking girls all over the world.
What's on dude too
For the elite.
that killed himself?
That's the guy
Epstein.
saying. They said he killed himself.
No, but what's the Weinstein?
Weinstein.
Epstein and
Weinstein.
Weinstein mixed up.
Yeah,
Weinstein.
Weinstein is the actor.
Weinstein was the film producer.
Yeah.
Epstein was the
Epstein.
music.
Epstein had the eye.
Yeah.
Well, he had some of the elites.
What's crazy is when you start looking at the manifest of like people who visited his island.
Yeah.
Like,
all the top elites.
like some of the who's who of like celebrities and politicians.
Donald Trump, Bernie Madoff,
Bill Clinton was there.
Bill Clinton, all these top
Yeah.
people in this country.
Now that don't mean
was friends with
nothing.
him.
That don't mean. I think friends is a stretching when you start, like you just said, when things are in the industry, it's you use people to kind of like level up. He's a billionaire. He's a billionaire and he got a lot of money to spend. So as a politician, do you want to get cozy with him? That don't mean that you go into his island and he got little girls serving you. You know what I'm saying? It just means that like, yeah, at one point in time I was associated with him.
Mm-hmm.
Now you start talking about motherfuckers who hanging out with him. You know what I'm saying? Like they say Bill Gates, that's one reason why him and his wife split up. Not only because he was having an affair with somebody else who worked at Microsoft, but because she was like, he was way too close to Epstein and I felt comfortable with him.
Oh,
I see that association.
Now I don't think it's guilty. It's a difference. It's a difference. He a billionaire, Epstein a billionaire. You ain't gotta be friends with some. You ain't gotta be friends with that. He don't provide no value to your life.
what I'm saying is this.
If he provided value, I understand.
As big as this guy was, and big as the thing that he was doing, it was a lot of people that knew what he was affiliated with.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I know that you, a young brother in the neighborhood, breaking into homes, just because you ain't broken my home, I'm not bothered by you. But the minute you come over and break into somebody's home, now I have a problem with you. Guilty by association. That's what I was saying. They knew what my man was doing.
But even so, man, like you were saying, he didn't have to hang with him. I think it's kind of, you would rather be around people that got more in common than you than don't. So if he was a millionaire, I doubt he'll be hanging around. He'll come down to the hood and hang, just chill at the barbershop with him. Even though people do it, but you see the consequences of doing it.
You see what happened to them when they do it.
Oh, you a lick.
So my only thing with Epstein, and like I don't know all the dates, but he got caught before.
Yeah.
He got caught before. I think he got some type of. He basically worked it out where he basically just got a slap on the wrist. At that point in time, I wouldn't. Sometimes you be like, I'ma hold my partner down because I'm loyal, right? And then when some shit come out, you like,
But see,
and then I can't mess with you no more. Like even still, regardless of you in a relationship, you married, and your wife say, I don't like butter. Like he already got caught up in some stuff. I don't think you should be hanging out with him. Well, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do because I'm a billionaire too. I think it just looks poorly when you try to like same thing with Bill Cosby. It looks poorly when you try to hold people to a standard that you're not following.
Right.
So that's like at the end of the day, like why people was like not even necessarily. It's some people who were really riding for Bill, but at the end of the day, like a lot of people, especially in our age range, remember when he was talking about this black boy sagging and cussing and all that stuff. But
that's
like,
why they ain't come
how bad is it that my generation sags, but you drugging and raping women.
And then they go back to Bill Gates and his wife. That dude had so much dirt on so many people. What Epstein, right? You said he had so much dirt on so many people, so it's not easy for him to say, hey man, my wife won't me to stop fucking with you, so I gotta be like, man, we in this till we die. I know what you did, fuck up. You got to turn your back on your wife, dog. It's either that or go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So which is why they saying, dude, come on, bro. Dude ain't kill himself. He had too much dirt on too many people. He was around Donald Trump, Bill Clinton. Man, I saw the movie. They named so many people that was
and eventually it was gonna come out.
It was a king from, or was he a prince or something?
A prince of Saudi Arabia?
No, it was the white guy, because they showed him the picture. They was like, do you know this lady? He was like, I never seen her in my life. They was like, well, you on a picture with her. He was like a prince of somewhere. Okay. Like, he with these big wig people that they got power, and I can make all this disappear. Oh, we got to kill that guy. We got to get rid of him, but of course, people with power, man, if you got too much power, especially being our color, they gonna get rid of it. So Parker had power for people to hear what he was saying. So they
because he had the people.
Right.
That's one thing he had.
When
he
you
had
got
the people,
man.
Because anytime, and I talk about it all the time. Anytime you had these people hate somebody just because you hate somebody,
you got power.
You got power.
That's the white people like this. That's what we were saying. I don't mean to be. I'm not racist by form, but I would rather deal with the people that I got more in common with. Yeah. And I think as a whole, Missouri is like that. If you go to any other state,
it's mixed.
It's mixed. People mixing with each other. St. Louis is segregated, but it never fails, bro. Like that's why when stuff happens, when you try to be certain people friends that you shouldn't have been in the first place, because they don't even have nothing in common with you. You surprised when they do certain things. It don't shock me. Come on, bro. Your life versus mine. We black and white. We in the car together and the dope. Of course they gonna blame you. I'm gonna get off. I might get fired. You gonna get 30 years. Cause I'm telling you, and my word holds more weight than your word holds. With these cops, if it was white cops that did this to this black guy, sometimes, not all the times, they make an example out of it.
I don't even know if we would have heard about it if it was some white cops that did it.
It depends.
Because they probably could. Well, you know what I'm saying? Because they more, you know.
It depends.
Like they might sweep it up under the rug.
Now, it's only so much you could. Somebody died. Now, if they just beat his ass like they did Rodney King, all right, well, they just whooped his ass. What did he do? That's the first thing they want to know. Well, what did he do? What did he do? Why was he with
white people to discredit this victim?
Yeah,
or
that's
to
they do it
scandalize,
every
drag
time.
his name in order to justify.
But you notice, I haven't heard that shit. Because it was 5 black cops. 5 white cops?
There was one white officer involved in that. The story would have flipped. Now, I heard that there was also 2 white paramedics. I'm not quite sure on this information. It was 2 white paramedics that was called to the scene.
And they got fired too, I heard.
But this is the reason why. They didn't take my man to the hospital. They took him back to the county jail.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? They was trying to cover up, they knew they fucked.
Yeah, he probably could have lived.
They didn't want their hands in.
Yeah. Your hands in it. See, that's why I don't understand. That shit just baffles me, man. So if it was 5 of us, we all cops. She did something, we jumped on her. Just because it could have been, I went to school with him, I don't like him, let's whoop his ass. I know he probably got something on, let's just plant some shit on him and let's whoop his ass. At what point does one of us 5 say, all right, man, that's
enough. That's enough.
Because I done seen in the past, like if this dude died and I don't tell on you, That's if I tell on you.
Come in on
If
me.
I tell you I'm a rat in the department, don't work with him, don't fuck with him. But if I don't, then I'm going to prison because I'm associate. I'm guilty by association. I could have stopped it and I didn't. You put me in a trick bag, so guess what? I'm gonna pull a whole Charleston White. I'm telling them.
Right.
Well,
I'm
the
telling
fact that I'm here and you doing this, and I don't feel like what you doing is right, but I'm drawing in by it because of the brother code of us being officers. So yeah, I'm gonna give me a
Like
kick
you
in
said.
too,
Yeah.
or stump into. I really
Because
know
if I,
this ain't right.
yeah, because if I don't, they gonna look at me
They
like
gonna
I'm
look at me
like
like,
I'm the
oh,
enemy.
you weak,
Like, oh,
you
you gonna
gotta
take
watch him.
either that or he gonna say something. Or I might end up hurt.
Like in Training Day, how Denzel Washington did the white dude. He played him the whole time.
And what happened? They killed him because he had too much power.
Yeah.
Like you, that go back to what you said. Like whoever the lead cop was, he had too much power over these other four. So now all of them in prison because of the lead guy. Man, have you seen the video?
Nah, I refuse to watch it, man. I don't want to be tricked.
It's horrific, man. I ain't gonna lie. It's hard to swallow, dog.
The guy was he was slimmer than him, taller, slimmer than him.
163 pounds, man.
Yeah. And the dudes was bigger than me. I'm talking about teeing off on the dude. One dude pulled the Billy Club out and was hitting with it. I'm like, man, what's the point of all this?
I mean, I'm watching.
Why they holding his arm?
Yeah.
I'm watching. So that's the so not to be super graphic, but they're holding like. You ever see like one of those mafia movies where they like come here and they grab you and then they beat you? That's what it felt like. They was basically chicken winging him, and while they had his arm stretched out, they was hitting him and punching him.
Based him.
One officer was kicking him so bad he injured his foot. Man. He had kicked him so many times.
But see, that's the thing. That's the reason why I did not watch it, man.
But
it's hard.
I don't want that on my spirit.
We hate each other that much, man. As if they don't already hate us enough.
Man.
And y'all add like, what in your mind position?
Because that's almost like even worse than how they do us. Because usually they just shoot us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But you expect them to do that.
Yeah.
He wasn't probably expecting these guys to do him like that. Like, man, what y'all doing? You know, what up, like punch him or something?
Yeah, rough him up a little bit. Yeah.
Even that still, it's too much of that right there.
Yeah.
That it's okay to rough you up. You are officers of the law. You took a sworn oath to serve and protect, not to beat and kill and shoot me.
But you know, we've been programmed to expect that. You know what I'm saying?
Because that's the society, the platform that we live in. You know what I'm saying? We are subjected to the worst of the worst because of our skin color. No matter which avenue, agenda, or venue, or road we decide to take, we are expecting the least of the least because the society has built that structure. Back to the Kanye comment that you was making. I really believe that a lot of people, rather than change your way of thinking, you would find some reason to downplay what this brother's saying because you don't understand it on his level. I'm used to being in my comfort zone right here.
Right.
But what you saying is gonna draw me out of that. And a lot of people took their hands off of Kanye.
Okay.
Because of that.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Jay-Z and all that.
I get what you're saying, Los, but in my defense, I ain't never liked him.
I never liked him. Now watch this. I was a fan of his music. I never really liked him like personally as a person. I always thought he was weird.
I was done after the first album. I used to play the first album all the time. I was done after the first album because of his personality. I don't like it. I just couldn't, and that maybe I'm wrong for that, but that made me not even check for his music no more.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
So after his first album, what about his personality that you like?
He just like a little pretentious, little spoiled little dude to me.
Which is,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that, you know, and me coming from being my mother's only child, I probably got a nice little amount of spoilers too, but dude irks the shit out of me, man.
it's
You know
all
what I'm
right.
saying? That's all.
It's
Now,
all
I don't agree with everybody ganging up on him, but I still maintain how I feel about him.
But I mean, but he brought a lot of dudes sick. I just say he's sick. He a sick individual. Like his mind is sick. Like he might look healthy and normal, but how long has he been like this?
Yeah, I don't think he.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think.
How long? And then money didn't help.
But then at the same time, you know, what he was saying, like how you know, like changing your thinking and all that. I get that part, but it's just dudes, man.
Yeah.
For me.
You know,
And that's understandable. I mean, we have to. What draws me to Kanye is not looking at Kanye as who I want him to be. and accepted Kanye for who he is. He may be mentally ill, but look at the lifestyle that he's lived. He's been exposed to something that the average person like me and you,
And I think that's why he's sick.
and that could be it.
Oh,
That
that
could
definitely
be it.
added to it. That definitely helped.
You know, that could
Just
be
by the stuff that they see.
yeah.
I can only imagine. You know what I'm saying? You hear stories, but I can only imagine.
Oh, you talking about as far as the
Just
industry?
the industry, man, and all that.
That has a wear and tear on a lot of these entertainers. I'm not gonna say just rappers, whether you in movies or you a TV person or whatever. I think a lot. Kyrie,
Orlando Brown. He be wigging out like that. It's a reason why that.
And you know, man, they got a hold of them when they was little. Raven Simone, the Corey Himes and Corey Feldman. Like you talk to these child, bro. A lot of people probably don't know this.
He been through a lot of
But which one? I always get them mixed up. Did I talk about this the last
Which
episode?
one?
About Charlie Sheen raping. Did I say something about
yeah,
that?
he's HIV positive or some stuff like that.
No, he actually on the set of Lucas. You ever seen that movie Lucas? Y'all seen Lucas? It's like an AIDS
with
movie.
Corey Haim.
Corey
I'm saying
Haim.
they did something to Corey Haim.
Yeah, on the set of it. Charlie
That's
Sheen.
because I know that movie and I know who
Charlie
in it.
Sheen molested.
Wow.
Yeah, but Corey, the one that's still alive.
You know he gone now.
Who?
Haim. He died.
Yeah, he OD. Yeah, but
But
what you
Corey
call him-
Feldman, the one that's still alive.
Corey Feldman was telling the story though.
Yeah.
He told that's one of the reasons why dude dead, because he dealt with that his whole life. Like somebody that you would trusted like that, and the dude just molested him. So a lot of that. But a question I have, man, when I hear people complain about like they don't do us right at the Grammys and they don't do us right, why we don't start our own day? You know what I'm saying? Why do we let people that don't look like us dictate
But
if
you know
our music
what?
is good enough?
At the same time, when we try, we don't support it.
That's true.
Why is like say for instance like the Soul Train Awards, even though I know it's probably not owned by us no more, but why we don't covet that as much as we covet the Grammys and American Music Awards and all that? You know what I'm saying?
Because soon as dude.
And then even with the BET Awards, why we don't covet that like we covet the Grammys and the Oscars and everything like that?
It's a talk behavior.
It's us.
I think it's a talk behavior.
And once we fix us, which is a hard task, it ain't gonna be easy. You know what I'm saying? That's when the stuff gonna change. That's when everything gonna change.
Yeah,
You know?
it's definitely gonna be a hard task, man. I don't see it happening in our lifetime, but could it happen? It could possibly happen.
Yeah.
But it's definitely gonna be a hard task to do. But we give a moment of silence to the young brother that lost his life.
Yeah, let's give them all
All right, the next question that I had, man. So I saw a young lady that I'm friends with on Facebook. She made a post saying it's a guy that she liked, and she wondered if should she shoot her shot, like get in his DM and shoot her shot. And I said you should go for it. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. Do you think it's an issue with a woman shooting her shot at a man's DM?
Nah, I don't think it's nothing wrong with it.
I don't know where they get that from.
I don't think nothing wrong with it at all, but you know, at the same time, how many niggas DM you and shoot your shot?
Right, but here's the thing, and I said,
You know, somebody might look at it like that, like, well, shit, she hollering at me like this, who's not? Because you know it's the.
but they do men the same way though.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, but that's the thing. That's like I'm reversing it.
Yeah.
Because that's what they'll think when we hop in theirs.
Right, yeah.
That, oh, you just in everybody.
Right,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So what stops us from thinking that? Who else did you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all. I'm just throwing that out there.
So my question to her was, she made the post and I responded. I was like, yeah, you should shoot your shot at him or whatever. And she was like, commenting back and forth on her post with other people saying she was afraid. I'm like, well, what you afraid of? She said, well, I'm afraid of being rejected. I'm like, you don't think men go through the same thing?
That's what we
Men
did
go
with
through the
us.
exact same thing. So we put ourselves out there to be rejected.
Right.
And y'all afraid of going through the same thing?
Right.
Well, maybe you should be a little more nicer to the guys that, you know what I'm saying, try
Right.
to shoot their shot at you.
Yeah, because
You know what I'm saying?
another
Because it
foot
don't
down.
feel good if you get rejected, but we supposed to just chunk it up.
Right.
And keep on, no, man, but I don't think it's wrong with a woman shooting
Yeah,
her
because
shot.
when they reject, and don't let it be somebody that they feel like, I can't believe you trying to holler at me.
Man, listen, they gonna tell their homegirls.
Now, why do you think a woman So what are some of the reasons that women reject men?
Some of the reasons, the main reasons.
I heard they
why-
look down at the nigga tennis shoes.
I hate
You know what I'm
the,
saying?
hey man, listen. I done heard. I hate the way I stopped talking to them because, well, after if they get a guy a chance, the reasons why women stop talking to men. I don't like the way he chewed. I don't like the way he slept.
He
I
snored.
don't like he snored. I don't like the way he looked when he put this on. I don't like the way he wear his hat. I'm like, you see so many women out here complaining about, I ain't got no man, a guy gonna send me a man this year. I'm like,
You done rejected the nigga.
you done
already.
rejected him because of one little thing that you didn't like about this. You think it's stuff guys don't like about women?
Exactly.
And I
You know
think
what I'm
sometimes
saying?
they look for something not to like.
They look for something not to
And the
like.
reason why I asked the question was this: I think that it's kind of unbalanced because men will go and talk to a woman or try to holler at a woman, and regardless to what situation she got going on, we are looking for reasons to be in addition to that or to make it better.
Yeah, exactly.
And women do the opposite to men. When they look at you, they looking for a reason to say, well, no, he ain't the one.
Right.
This nigga ain't got no job, his car raggedy, or he this, that, and the other, he done been to prison, or he ain't got no education, or whatever it is.
And then you don't give that guy a chance to give somebody else a chance.
Yeah, and the guy you giving a chance, dragging you through the mud, taking you down through
Because
it.
he dressed nice, he got money.
He got a little money, he dressed
Funny
nice.
how life work, right?
You know what I'm saying? He take you out of town on trips, vacations, and all this, but he don't really care nothing for you,
Right.
building you,
Right.
establishing nothing with you.
It just you just something on his wrist right now.
Yeah.
Yes, he-
You know what I'm
He
saying?
just look good when on the post pictures.
Right. But I think if she really if she really like the guy, I say give it a shot too.
Yeah, I didn't disagree at all. I just think women need to. It's just a crazy time we live in.
But shit, he might like her already.
Might.
And he
You know,
might be kind of apprehensive to even talk
Say
to
something to
her
her.
because of the whole rejection thing. The whole thing she feeling, he might be the reason why he ain't said nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because the reason she like him, they probably got some interaction already.
They might have.
You know what I'm saying?
They might have.
Yeah.
But now, this is just a blanket statement for all women. Just shoot your shot. You never know what's gonna happen.
Right.
We get rejected all the time. Ain't nothing wrong with rejection. We learn to live with it.
Gotcha.
You done been rejected. Women, y'all done been rejected from jobs, friendships.
Yeah.
So getting a dude, and how often will a dude say, nah, I'm cool? I mean, unless you just whooped. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that the young lady
That
whooped
shit,
or
I mean,
anybody.
shit, even if
That's
she
the
whooped.
only thing that I can see because,
Even if she whooped, she might not be whooped after 11, so shit.
yeah, but see, some women have to realize the status they set for the man that they want. Men don't have the same status. Like
That's
they
what-
accept
that's what
you
I
if
was
you got
saying.
a little pudge on you.
Yeah,
You
that's the
might
thing,
not like
too.
the pudge, but he might not even, I don't like the way my stomach look. He ain't tripping over that.
Yeah, a lot of
You
them saying-
tripping
a lot
off of
them
that.
saying, I even think a lot of this body work ain't really even for us.
I agree.
I don't think,
I agree.
You know,
Listen, some women say, well, I ain't get my body done for you. It's a confidence thing.
yeah, I get
You know
that.
what I'm saying? But you have to realize at some point you gonna have to pay for it. Like this ain't natural to do to your body. You know what I'm saying? You put something foreign in your body for what? You know what I'm saying? But that ain't my money to spend. You know, if it help boost your confidence, but it ain't healthy. You know, you take a risk of losing your life by putting something foreign in your body like that. If it is for a man, you do all that for a man, and then the next few months he ain't even with you.
Now that was my next question. Like after you done went and got all these alterations done to yourself to make you happy as a person, whether you male, female, or whatever, because there's men out here doing this stuff too.
Yeah.
Right, for sure.
You done got all these alterations to yourself, whether you male or female, to make yourself feel good. Now that you done been through all this and you feel that now I'm at this level and you still feeling the same way, or it's not worse. Like I should have done it.
You wanna know
I think
why?
that's what happened. I think that's what happened to Michael Jackson.
You know what? He didn't love himself.
You know what I'm saying? And he just kept going.
Changing
just
himself.
kept
So
going.
He didn't
kept
like
going.
dark
Till he
skin Michael Jackson.
till he
with
had
the
no
fat
nose left.
Yeah.
He kept going till he had no nose left. And he probably still felt the same.
Yeah, felt the same way, or even worse.
Even worse.
Now look what I've done to myself. I gotta wear this mask and
Right,
nose
right.
falling off.
Right,
and
exactly.
Look at me from
Taking
this
all this
profile.
medication.
Right.
They said Michael Jackson was in pain, man, for years. He was in pain. So it ain't worth it, man. Learn to love yourself, how you are. If they don't like it, fuck them.
You know, you was created to be yourself for a reason. I believe that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And how I am ain't for everybody. So you that don't like how Carl look or Los look, I'm not for you. Some people like hamburgers. I like cheeseburger. No ketchup, no mustard.
It's the same way.
What you like, and that's what it's supposed to be.
But I'm not finna go and alter myself.
Nah.
For none of that.
We gotta love ourselves a little better than that.
Yeah, we definitely.
In every genre. I mean, even with dealing with everyday life, we as black people have to learn to start loving.
Yeah, 'cause you know what? And that's the
ourselves.
thing. That's the theme of it too. Because if we love ourselves, then we can love each
Yeah,
other.
that's what I'm saying. You got to start with loving yourself first. If you don't love yourself, then you damn sure ain't gonna love nobody else. I can care less about you if I can't even love myself.
Right. That's the key to it.
Bro, I go out to
That's the
breakfast,
key to
breakfast by myself. I do a lot by myself.
But I'm just saying, just in general, if we learn to love ourselves, then we can start loving each
Man,
other.
people don't realize you get a lot further than, like, you can't do, it's certain things you need people for. You know what I'm saying? You need to build relationships with certain people because you never know when you might need them at a particular time in your life. You know what I'm saying? So it's always cool to be nice, speak to people. We living in a cruel world, man. Like, people don't speak, people not friendly no more. Bro, how many of us, if you move to a different neighborhood, we don't even speak to our neighbors half the time.
No, I don't even know
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, growing up, you knew your whole neighborhood.
The whole street.
Everybody knew who
Around
you
the
were.
corner,
you're targeted,
everything.
You're
You know?
targeted,
Yeah.
son. What, everybody, kids went to school together, they played together, they ain't like that no more, man. Everybody's so private. Everybody posts stuff on social media all the
Families on
time.
the other blocks and everything.
Everything. Now nobody know that no more, man.
Right.
So that's why I say, man, I'm glad I grew up in the time that I grew up in. You know what I'm saying? Before this whole internet era.
But we got to translate to the youth. We got to translate what we know. Even though they ain't trying to listen, we got to translate what we know to them so they know it's more to it than what they got going on.
Like, why do you think that it's a gap between like our age group and younger folk?
I'm gonna tell you, I know exactly why. If you, a majority of our age group we went to school with, some of them had kids, 18, 19 years old.
Some really
Now, those kids 20 years old now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those 18, 19-year-olds said, and I was just having this discussion with somebody, growing up as a kid, you always said, when I grow up, I'm gonna raise my kid different than I was raised.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make sure my kid have everything. You know what I'm saying? These kids don't know how to do nothing for themselves. They have no discipline. They have no structure. We have structure, bro. I would have rather been poor and not have and learn how to get it on my own. So when I'm grown, I don't have to ask nobody for that. These kids don't. Like, this our future, and I hate to say it, bro. It's not looking good at all. Like, if you pull, they just don't know a lot of stuff. I say that because
certain things just was automatic growing up, like the certain chores you did and everything.
You would think so.
They ain't have to tell me certain stuff. I knew what I had to do on whatever day I had
But
to
these
do.
parents is friends with their kids. You know what I'm saying? It's not a, hey, get over there and do this and just be quiet and do what I tell you. It ain't that no more. They friends with these kids.
And I think
It's the culture too, because I'm not friends with my kids and they still are of this generation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Outside your house, though.
I am friends with my kids. And the reason why I am, Chris, I had a conversation with some young men. I got a lot of kids out here in this age group. Mm-hmm. And one of the things one of my sons was telling me is that, Daddy, you know, it's not that we don't listen to what it is that you've been through when you was our age. He said that times have changed drastically, rapidly.
Yeah.
To where a lot of the things that helped me and you and him survive in our age group, it's not helping these young folk now. Drugs. Drugs been around since the beginning of time. But some of these more potent drugs are more frequent and being used more by this younger generation than we was out there. I didn't know nothing about fentanyl.
Nah.
Coming up. I knew heroin was out, weed was out, PCP, cocaine, stuff like that. But these young kids on over-the-counter drugs.
Yeah.
From drugs that you should find in a hospital that shouldn't be on the street.
Right.
Opioids.
Right.
They on different drugs now, which has a different effect than what it had on me and you when we were coming up. And also that we had a little bit more structure.
But here's my question. What led them to even start messing with the drugs? It's a lack of something. It's a lack of responsibility from us as either men being in a household with these kids, or even not even being in a household, just being positive role models. These kids pick up everything they see. Like, it's learned behavior.
Even still, like, you
We
know,
miss it from a lot of households.
yes, we are. But even still, with that being happening, I think it's a more underlining problem than just not having a male in the household.
Yeah.
Because there are families out here that have two-parent families, and kids are just as bad
That's true.
as the ones that don't have.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
That don't have. So it's something else underlining it. I really believe that it was the system that we live in is set up to have short and long-term effects. When we were coming up, the things that they were doing in our lives, our kids are suffering from the long-term effect of what we went through.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of the problems. You know, like, I didn't have access to fentanyl and stuff like that when I was growing up. But these kids could walk right outside their home,
Right.
where they have a mother and a father, uncles, daddies, grandmas, everybody, all the structure they need around them. And that temptation is right outside their doorstep, touching it.
That's true.
You know, I try to install in my kids their own choice with it.
Then it's the music they listening to.
That's
a big part of it.
The
That's
internet.
promoting it, you know what I'm
The
saying?
internet, they have a lot more
Access to
stuff that we didn't have. You know, when I was growing up, we had MySpace, and then Facebook was just really getting on like that. But now you got.
We didn't have much.
Y'all ever trip off how you can leave your house in the morning and don't come back till later, and you ain't called nobody, you ain't had a phone, like even before you got a page or whatever, and it was no problem. Now I feel like if I leave my house right now, I ain't got my phone on me, I feel crippled.
That's it.
That's see, back to what I was saying. Long-term effects. The short-term effect was we gonna give you a cell phone where you can call somebody no matter where you is. That was the short-term effect. The long-term effect now is that 90% of Americans, when they wake up, the first thing they do before they kiss their mate, say good morning, how you doing, treat their kids or whatever, they checking their phone.
I'm guilty of it.
I am too.
Yeah,
I'm guilty of it.
I'm guilty of it.
Definitely guilty.
You know? So we are programmed, man. That's why I say, man, the very first episode, you remember, I said I hate the internet, man.
Yeah,
It's
you
the
did
worst
say
thing
that. You
ever
did say
invented
that.
is the internet,
Yeah, you
man.
did say
It
that.
made people lazy in every aspect of life. It does have benefits, don't get me wrong. Look how many malls shut down. As soon as the internet popped up and you could shop online. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
A lot of the postal services
I
gone.
hate that. I hate that for the kids though, because the mall thing, that was a
It's
great
a life they
experience.
didn't get to experience,
Yeah.
man. I was sitting talking the other day just about how the clubs used to be in St. Louis. These kids in St. Louis used to be a very fun city to live in. It's no longer the same, man. There's so many people that's depressed in St. Louis. But how do you get out of it? You know what I'm saying? Like, the places that's more upbeat, we can't afford to live in. You can go to the Central. I was just down there last night, the Central West End. It's a totally different look now. They got rid of them old, like, grandmas that lived down there that died off. The family didn't want the house. They took that 120 that the people was offering. Now the house turned around, so they sell it for $450,000. Making a killing. And now they can just go outside their house and walk to all these nice restaurants and bars that's down there geared towards them. And we out here turning North County and North City up. You know what I'm saying? They moving away from this stuff, man. If we could learn how to just take care of our own, man, like they do, we'll be fine. But we too concerned about what the other person got, how this person living, what they wearing, what kind of car they drive, what you could take from somebody, instead of us all putting our stuff together as they do and build our own communities up. Man, look at Black Wall Street in Oklahoma. I read about that, man. A lot of these kids don't know about Black Wall Street.
Now look, just last year, it's funny you said something about Oklahoma, because you was talking about how people don't speak to each other now, and they live in a neighborhood. If you don't know them people, just last year, me and my family had a chance to go to Oklahoma, and we went to Tulsa. The first thing I wanted to see was where you was talking about. When I went down there, man, it's a parking lot. It's got a 12-inch sign right there to tell you where Black Wall Street used to be. That's it. A picture of Aretha Franklin, the Gap band on the wall. That was it. It's a parking lot now. And a lot of other nationalities are populating that area. It's not a lot of black folks in that area. With Tulsa, we're black. Another thing I noticed about Tulsa is when I walk down the street, I'm in the grocery store, at the gas station, whatever, everybody spoke to me. I don't care what color they was.
different.
Man, I just have to be walking. I had a car. I just wanted to walk out and get to see something. I'm away from my hometown. I wanted to see the city. I'm just out walking. Every person I went by, hey man, how you doing?
It's like that in the
Hey
South.
man, where you going?
It's like that in the South.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Places like that, when I went to Atlanta, I seen that.
Yeah.
Mississippi, Jackson,
Yeah.
Mississippi.
But see, some places just traditional like that. They haven't gone away from what worked for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's we kind, we nice down here. That's just how we gonna be. And we gonna teach our kids how to do that same thing, man. Once we get a lot of this stuff, they don't even teach these kids in school. They don't know nothing about that.
They talking about going to a 4-day school year now because they can't get teachers to get in the classroom.
And why is that?
The busing system. They got millions and millions of dollars the state give them to transport our kids back and forth to school. But you live on the south side, they have to go out to one of these charter schools in North City or in the county. Your child standing on the bus stop at 5:45, 6 o'clock in the morning. The bus might come or it might not.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
But I feel like, I was looking at that the other day, they saying it was a bus charter. I feel like if you pay people, they'll work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the bus drivers don't even get paid for the whole day. They only get paid for that little
slots that they work.
Yeah, so I'm like, how they gonna make a living like that? You should pay them for the whole day.
They got enough money to
Pay them 40 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they only working what 4 maybe?
But you go out.
More than 4 in the evening. They work 8 hours a day. Or 4
I'm
for the
saying
whole
No,
day.
they only work 4 to 6 hours a day.
Yeah, but I'm saying pay them for a full day. And I think that will change a little bit.
Just like if you go into the Pattonville School District, Richmond School District, them kids ain't got no problem getting bused to school. But you come in the inner city, some of these kids can't get to school. And however they set up the demographics of it, because your kid live in this area, it has to go to this school.
Right.
Now when the state get the funding, they giving the funding to these schools out here.
Oh yeah, of course.
With the trend, they finna pass a new law now to where your kid, no matter where they live at, if your kid live in North City, he can go to Pattonville. But the reason why they want to pass this law is because now that your city kids is going to Pattonville, we can give more funding to Pattonville. Now what about these kids who don't want to go to Pattonville? They lacking even less more funding now.
Yeah, with that though, that's gonna close a lot more schools.
Yeah. And I think that's what the behind the scene, behind the screen is really what's going
high
on.
school in the city, they shine, right?
You got ain't something still open?
Sumner and Soledad.
Yeah.
Soledad is still open too, right?
Yeah, I believe.
They was trying to close something down. But it's a historical school.
Yeah, I heard something about that.
Man, the times have changed, man. That's all I can say about this, man. I sure hate it for these kids, man. They didn't get the experience. Well, to us it seems they didn't get to experience.
Yeah, they experiencing their own thing, but I'm just saying, like we just had.
But
just something about.
I would like to bring on a couple guys from the younger generation just to get an understanding of it.
And see, me being a barber, I talk to these guys on the regular, man. I be picking their ears because I want to know
where the gap is between.
You know, and that's what I asked. I was like, why is it that if I tell you X, Y, and Z, why is it so hard for you to believe? He said, it's not hard for me to believe it. He said, just when I go outside to try to apply X, Y, Z to my life, it's not fitting the times now.
Right.
It don't work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, I definitely like to have a conversation with somebody from the younger generation. I'm pretty
You know what? We got to be open to that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm definitely open to it.
I'm saying, but more of us need to be open to that.
The next show, I have some guys here. I know gang of them. I'm a barber. I see them every week. I invite some of them to come by
I definitely
and sit
like
through
to
and
have
give
a
their
conversation
opinion.
with them, just to find out what the gap is, man. Because they too young, man. They throwing their lives away. They too young. They got a whole life to live, man. You don't have to stay here. Go somewhere else, man.
A lot of these young guys feel like, one of my kids that I was talking to said that he said, a lot of you older people live for the future. He say, but a lot of us young people don't see no hope in the future. We're able to watch our daddies or our significant father figure, whoever it is in our life, deal with their day-to-day struggles. And we like, man, daddy been working that job 30 years and still struggling from check to check. Now,
And now they can look on their phone and see somebody
and see
getting
a
all
guy,
this
I don't
money.
want to say his name and give him no pub on your podcast, but they can look on some of these YouTube blogs and be like, man, you make $1 million. And then or some of these, the OnlyFans thing blew my mind.
Oh yeah.
That they give a platform for young women to expose themselves sexually to get paid for it. Is that not prostitution to me?
It is. That's exactly what it is.
That's
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
They created a platform. where you get charged to go and view these women, and these women get to post their pictures, half nude, naked, whatever,
And they making the killing because they getting their percentage.
and they getting their percentage off of it. Is that not
They gonna
pimping?
get that on top.
Yeah.
Is that not pimping?
Oh, definitely pimping.
We didn't have-
Some say,
I think I need to think
pimping
of
ain't,
I think I
it
need to
just
think of a
moved
good
to the
album.
web.
Shit.
You say what?
I need to make a good album. Shit.
You know,
let me
and-
get a little piece of that change.
And that's what they doing. I mean, like, the OnlyFans, you got young girls out here, 7, 18 years old, maybe book smart, could have a college career headed towards her. She could be ready to go to college. But OnlyFans over here paying her right now. College gonna take up 4 years. She got to hope she get a good job. She got to do all this. But I spend 4 years on OnlyFans, I'll be a millionaire.
That's different.
And then when they get out of college, they got debt,
Mm-hmm.
and they ain't got a job that's gonna pay them enough to pay the debt.
For the amount of money they spend getting an education, the job they get afterwards don't match the
They ain't
criteria.
working. You know, that's why they ain't working. Yeah, that's why they on OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all shapes, sizes, and colors of
Man,
OnlyFans.
during the pandemic when the COVID hit, man, and
Oh,
everything was locked down, I seen so many young, prominent women. They had good jobs, where they worked post office, nurses, whatever. When the COVID hit, they had OnlyFans the next day. Some of the women that I thought was top flight or my cream of the crop, or women that I thought was really out here getting it, they got OnlyFans shaking ass on TV, on videos now. Grandma got an OnlyFans.
They can't go to amateur night no more. So
No,
they gotta get
the
that.
amateur night closed down, so we gonna do it in our house now.
They gotta get that OnlyFans.
I got Instagram friends that wake up, when I wake up, they already got 20, 30 pictures. They posted already for that day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Click on my link, click on my bio, go to my OnlyFans.
We going like, well, what you think about, just kind of segue into another topic before we go. Just think about Nike finally suing Bait.
I was just gonna say that, man. Nike on the roll.
Yeah,
They suing Kai.
And on me with a Hellcat.
On me the Hellcat.
Yeah.
I just want to know why it took them so long.
I really want to know why it took so long, especially in the case of Bait, because Bait been doing it for years.
They've been doing it since the early 2000s.
That's what I'm saying. Bait been doing it for years. I'm surprised they ain't been on their top way earlier than this.
Maybe somebody was paying somebody off and they stopped making a payment to them. I don't know. It's weird to me. Because I was like, man,
that it's almost like that's long overdue as far as if that's
Babe
what
should
she's
have
trying
been
to
the
get
first one to
across.
sue because Babe showed everybody else, well, we can copy out Nike because Babe been doing it.
Right.
So,
Right. That probably opened the door for a lot of them other people that did.
but my thing, man, why you don't want to be original? And come up with
Because
your own
you know what,
stuff.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna get my opinion on it. It's because they know what's gonna sell. I could make something. If it ain't like what they used to seeing, they probably gonna just dog it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like they be trying to dog Sire for real. Yeah, they be trying to dog Sire for real, and he got a gang of different original stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't seen none. I seen the stuff that
You
Sire
ain't
is.
paying
Wait a minute,
attention.
which one is Sire?
Sire Collective.
Oh, yeah. I'm tripping.
Yeah, I'm saying he got a gang of different designs.
Yeah, all his stuff different.
You know what I'm saying? And even when he do the new ones yourself or whatever, that's kind of based off the one, he adds so much different shit, and I can't sue him for that shit.
Nah, I actually like his shoes.
You know what I'm saying?
I
So,
see.
but I'm saying though, people be like, if you read the comment, like whenever they post them to these shoe sites and all that, they be trying to dog them. Well, a lot of people be trying to dog them because they be blocking niggas and
Yeah, of course.
they don't like his
I
attitude.
too if they have something negative to say.
But
You say you got a bad attitude?
nah, not to me, because
Oh, okay.
me and Trey met him in person.
Oh,
He
okay.
cool as hell to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
People don't like what
like he
they
was
don't
sitting up
understand.
there like mingling with us when they had the pop-up
shop.
remix your kicks. Yeah. So I done met him in person, so I don't got no problem with him. But you know, he is quick to block if you say a certain thing in his comments, he gonna block you. I don't blame him either. You know, you gotta protect your people. But that that was my argument on why people don't be original. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, he definitely original. though.
Exactly.
He definitely original. I want to make sure y'all get a look at his hoodie. I forgot. You see it?
Yeah.
Shannon Sharp, skip baby.
Yeah.
Shannon skip pocket shoe. Hey, man, what I was getting ready to say? Let me get what I was getting ready to say, man. I bet you got a rant. You ain't
Man,
doing
yeah, I do got a rant. It's not really a rant, but you know what you just showed me the other day. What you showed, like what the dude was like 95 years old or something.
Oh yeah,
He was like 95 years old,
Yeah.
and he wanted to get a divorce because he found a letter in his wife. He found a letter in his wife drawer from like 50 years ago.
Hey, buddy found a
You know what I'm
love
saying?
letter.
And he straight filed for divorce after they've been married 70-something years. At this point, you 90-something, nigga, ride that out.
What?
Man, ride that shit out, man.
For 50 years you've been riding it out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just because you found the man, come on, dog. Dude probably, whoever wrote the letter or whoever she wrote the letter to, nigga probably been dead 30, 40 years, something like that.
Hey.
Come on. Come on, man.
He can't.
What is you about to do?
It's the principle of the whole
Buddy was probably looking for a way out for 50 years. This my way
But
out.
nigga, he 90 something now. What do you got to look forward to at this
He
point?
gonna get him a Cialis smoothie. And he gonna be out here dropping big off.
And that's gonna, and you know what? That's gonna probably be his last.
Hey, as long as he gonna go out and having a good time.
But you know what? He could have been married and did this.
he could have got his
He could have got his lick back. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But he ain't no Barbara was out here fucking on Paul 50 years ago,
Hey,
bro.
man.
He found a straight letter, a handwritten letter. This lady, I'd have left her too. Think about it. Think about this.
Yeah, she's holding on to that.
She kept a handwritten letter for 50 years.
Yeah, that has sentimental value.
And it was legible for him to read.
Read it. It was
Yeah.
probably a 5-page letter.
She probably wanted that nigga to find it 50 years ago.
She probably did.
You know,
She begged him not to leave.
Yeah, she did, but that's because she grew back to love him.
Bro, listen.
I'm talking about when she placed it there.
Do you listen to this though? A letter, bro. 50 years ago, this lady got a
I was surprised
letter.
that motherfucker still was intact.
That's what I was saying, that it was legible. So
Yeah.
now to her, this legend had some type of sentimental
Yeah.
value to her. Because
I
she
bet it
kept
was-
this letter
I
in
bet
a
it-
legible place for
Yeah.
50 years.
I bet it was in her underwear drawer.
And you know what, dog? She probably read that motherfucker over and over.
Over and
Every
over again. Missing George.
Every
Man.
George been dead for 20 years.
I'm gonna tell you what made my man leave. All this time he been a pumping and a sweating, and she think about this dude.
Whole time.
That's what made him leave. 50 years, I knew you was doing this.
Man, I wouldn't know what to say. I'd have left her too. 90,
I would have left
98.
too. I would have left because what she done to me, I would have left because I felt stupid. For 50 years, I knew this 50 years ago, and it took me 50 years to finally get the
50 years.
information.
But you
out.
90 something, bro. What is you gonna do?
I ain't dead yet.
He showed you when he leaving. Hey, this the killer part about it. You know his name? He's a white man. Antonio. His name Antonio. I said, what? Antonio was tired of the bullshit.
Yeah, it's
He
time.
looked at her petty drawer trying to find something. He was looking for some stamps or something. Right?
Triple OG Tom.
Ran across his love letter that from 50 years ago. That hurt.
Great.
A handwritten letter that you kept for 50 years. You could have shredded this man.
I don't even think he mad at her about what he done. He mad at the fact for 50 years she been playing me. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't tripping.
He ain't tripping on what she done. 50 years you been doing this to me for 50 years. What type of person is you?
Well,
After so long, I've been tired of hiding the secret. I've been like, here, baby, read this.
Tony on the block. He gonna be on
He on OnlyFans.
only.
He on OnlyFans right now.
What's the other one? With the swipe left or right? What's Tinder?
Tender.
Tinder.
You got my Tinder accounts, everything, man. So,
I'm old, but I ain't dead. I'm gonna give you something you ain't never had, a 95-year-old penis. You ain't never had that before in your life.
so we got a group of 2 other guys, man. We call it. I don't know if I should say the name. We probably gonna have
Nah,
to
we
say
come
the
up with
name.
something else.
That's what I said, but we're gonna commemorate 2 more guys on the next episode, man. Because we got a thread on Instagram, man. Just because it'd be out of control, man. So we're gonna bring those guys on here, man. One of the next upcoming episodes. Like we said, we appreciate Soulfly for y'all letting us use y'all establishment.
Anytime,
man.
brothers.
We look forward to the next episode, man. You want to close with anything?
Man,
What's
we
your
back.
prediction?
We back.
You can close with your prediction.
We back. I ain't got no.
Well, I'm going to predict that the Eagles are about to beat the 49ers. The Bengals going to beat the Chiefs. The Bengals.
Hey man, y'all can't come back here next week, man. I can't see
You a Chiefs
you, man. I was
fan?
messing with y'all.
You a Chiefs fan?
I am.
I am, but I just ain't.
I'm a Chiefs fan by accidentally. I used to work at a nursing home here, and I was in an older lady's room, and she had all this Kansas City Chiefs stuff in her room. Never
Also,
thought
what you saying is that she wrote that letter about you.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Hey man, I don't like this camera guy no more, man. That other guy that was here. But I'm in this lady's room and I'm coming to hang this big 55-inch screen TV in her room. Now, mind you, she got 4 other TVs in her room. All this Kansas City stuff, and I never had no idea who she was. Long story short, she's Patrick Mahomes' grandma.
Oh, really?
And my co-worker came in the room, he was watching ESPN, and I think this lady laying her sleep while I'm hanging the other TV in the room. And I'm like, man, turn the TV out, Sports Center. Man, you ain't supposed to be in the lady room watching Sports Center. She woke up out of sleep, she said, no, leave that on ESPN. I want to see my grandson, he finna win the Super Bowl. And I'm like, your grandson? She was like, look around you. She had so many pictures in her room of Patrick Mahomes at 2 years old, 5 years old, first time he played football, all that in her room at this nursing home. And she told me, she said, my grandson finna win the Super Bowl. He be here a couple weeks after he win the Super Bowl. And sure enough, that happened. That's how I became a fan of Kansas City Chiefs. Now that when the Rams left, we ain't had nobody else in Missouri looking at shit. So
Yeah. But I'm just saying, I think the Bengals got their number, man. I think the Bengals.
I don't think so, bro. Because that last year, man, they lost that on their own.
you know, it's kind of like Pacquiao and Marquez when they fought. Pacquiao whipped his ass the first 2 fights, but Marquez got his just due. Patty finna get his just due.
I hope he make y'all happy. Like the Cowboys fans was talking all that noise, but that's another story.
The Cowboys been known to do that. Kansas City will win the Super Bowl. They have won.
Yeah.
Pat has won. Dak ain't won. Romo ain't won. They ain't had a winning quarterback since Aikman.
Yeah, that's true. 96.
94, 95, somewhere around there.
Yeah, because I don't even think they won in 96.
I can't remember what
I think they lost to San Fran, if I'm not mistaken.
they last Super Bowl.
Nah, they would. That's supposed to be NFC, so they wouldn't be in.
No, they would have been together. They both in the same conference.
I can't remember who. It was the Bills, wasn't it? Wasn't that the last Super Bowl?
Bills, they never won.
No. That's who the Cowboys played, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Nah,
I
they
don't know.
wouldn't
I don't know who.
I remember.
Man, you know what they.
Yeah, I don't remember. But we appreciate y'all for tuning in another episode of Right Here in the Pod. We're glad we can catch it on film this time.
Right.
Moving forward, I hope we'll have some footage for y'all so y'all can see how good I be looking on there. You know what I'm saying? Come with some exclusive hoodies, sweaters. You can see Doe with all this blue on.
About your clothes line, man. You clothes line to shout.
CapLightBrand.com.
Cap Life Brand. I don't have no
CapLightBrand.com.
Shop by trade. You want to come around here and shoot your information? You good?
I'm good.
CLC
I appreciate
on YouTube.
I appreciate it, bro.
All right. So we're going to get out of here. SoFly, we appreciate y'all, Los.
Anytime, brother. Anytime, brother. Glad to have y'all.
Y'all have a blessed Sunday. Enjoy y'all weekend. We out.